Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about where I was 21 years ago when Leah died, which is what the next chapter of my book is about, and where I am today. One of the things that struck me as I was rereading this chapter 21 years ago and the juxtaposition of the time of year that we're in now, which was the same time that Leah died, it really gave me a really good idea about how far I've come and what I've done with the time between then and now. Right after Leah died, as I was driving away from the hospital that night, I had no idea how my life was going to go on. I had no idea how I could get from that moment to the next moment, let alone live my life in any way that resembled a life of meaning or purpose. And when I look at where I am today, some 21 years later, I realize that I still grieve. I still miss her. The feelings of grief are still in my consciousness. They still arise. The difference is that I now know how to meet them. And so I don't stay in the grief. I don't wallow in the grief. I'm willing to meet the grief and move through it. And that is the value of my work. The work that I've done for myself and the work that I do with my clients, the value of it is that it keeps us from wallowing. It keeps us from being stuck. It kept me from staying in a place that didn't serve me. I just wanted to stay in bed, pull the covers up, and never emerge. I didn't want to see anyone. I wanted to completely self-isolate. And when I received the message that losing Leah is too high a price to pay to not live the life I was meant to live, that encouraged me to learn how to move through my grief, to learn how to feel my feelings, to learn how to embody all the feelings that were coming. Because it doesn't happen in our heads. It has to happen in our bodies. Where in our bodies are we holding this grief? Our bodies hold on to things much longer than our emotional. When we go through something emotionally, that moves through much faster. Our bodies hold on to them. So how do we locate that grief and move it out? I'm still finding places in my body that hold grief or that hold feelings from the past. The difference is I now have the tools and resources. I now know how to use movement and awareness and presence to move it through. And each time I do, it gets a little clearer. I get a little lighter. I get more insights. And so that's the value of the work that I do. The value of the work that I've done with myself. And I'm so grateful that I had the courage of heart to do that. Because it wasn't easy. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. We don't like to feel uncomfortable feelings. We don't like to. It's really easy to love ourselves when we're having a good hair day, or love the parts of ourselves that are easy to love. The parts of ourselves that aren't so easy to love isn't always easy. And that's what I learned to do. That's what I help my clients learn to do, because that's what grief does for us. It opens up, it rips apart the fabric of our lives and opens up an opportunity to heal ourselves. To not let our past be what controls our lives any longer. And because I was able to do that, I can now meet the world with an open heart, without all the layers of protection around my heart, that keep me locked in a place that doesn't serve me, that doesn't serve my family, and that doesn't serve the world. So that is the value of going through your grief journey. That's the value of learning how to get better at feeling. And if you would like to learn more, I'd love to have a conversation with you so that you too can learn how to fully participate in your life and learn the value of of our feelings and how we can learn to move them through. I'll talk with you next time.